So in the early 1990s, Bill and I read a newspaper article about something called rotavirus. And we said, my gosh, what is this thing called rotavirus? We've never heard about it. And yet when we read in this article, we learned that yet 500,000 children were affected by rotavirus and died every single year. We said, oh my gosh, this can't possibly be true, rotavirus. But if it is true, there must be something that we can do about it. So what is rotavirus? Rotavirus is a diarrheal disease that many, many children get in the poor world. Now, children in our country get diarrhea, and it's pretty simple. You take them, you go to the drugstore and you get an over-the-counter medication, or you might take them to the doctor, and they live. But that's not the case in the developing world, because poor children become severely dehydrated. But because our country doesn't face rotavirus, there's really very little incentive to create a vaccine. But I'm pleased to tell you tonight that we do have a new vaccine for rotavirus. It was developed by Dr. Paul Offit. He worked in his lab for over 26 years tirelessly on this vaccine, and he was supported by the pharmaceutical company Merck. It's a fantastic success story. It's a case where we've created a vaccine for the poorest children on the planet, and it's just beginning to reach them. And I'd like to show you a short video of what it's like to get a vaccine like that from Dr. Offit's lab in Pennsylvania out to a remote village in Nicaragua.
Hace 3 años, nosotros teníamos
3 years ago, we had high rates of diarrhea and severe dehydration. We had so many cases that we would have 2 babies sharing one bed.
Yo soy doctor,
I'm a doctor,
pero también soy
but I'm
padre
also
de
a
familia.
father,
Era difícil observar
and it was hard to lose so many of our kids to rotavirus.
My daughter's name is Scarlett Sarai Alvarez. She's my princess. We are here because she's sick. She's vomiting and has diarrhea. As a dad, I work to protect my kids, but sometimes I worry.
But in the developing world, it causes a lot of suffering and a lot of death. So imagine what it would mean to eliminate that. And the trick is being able to get that vaccine from, in this case, this manufacturer in the United States, into the mouths of children in the developing world, and that's hard. Well, the rotavirus vaccine needs to be refrigerated. It needs to be refrigerated on the way to the country. It needs to be refrigerated while it's being delivered to the clinic. And then it needs to be refrigerated really right up into the time that it's given to the child.
When this vaccine arrived in Fantasma, the number of cases of diarrhea dropped. Today, we don't have a single child admitted into our rotavirus ward.
We are going home today. If she hadn't been vaccinated, she'd be a lot worse. She's 2 years old, and I hope she grows to be a strong and determined woman, a superstar. Right, my love?
So you've just seen what it takes to get a vaccine into one country. And because of the U.S. investments and the commitments that we've made as a country, we're now going to start delivering it to every poor child that needs it in all the developing countries that need it around the world. You know, often in the U.S. we talk about if somebody here saves one life, that they're a hero. But what do you say to somebody who's already saved hundreds of lives and possibly is on their way to saving hundreds of thousands of lives? And I think the only thing that I know what to say to that person is thank you. And so I'd like to have Dr. Paul Offit stand and be recognized tonight. Thank you, Paul. Vaccines really are the great miracles of our lifetimes. Vaccines for smallpox, polio, measles. Since 1980, we've been able to bring down cases of diphtheria 93%, tetanus cases 85%, measles 93%. So where we have these vaccines, where we have this life-saving advance, we need to deliver those to the developing world. And where we haven't yet invented the vaccines, we need to do that.